What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the simulator. Welcome back to the channel, Turbo Talon Golf. Live in the simulator this morning. It's 6:15 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. The date is Sunday, the 7th of September, 2025. I don't usually stream, but I mean, here we are. The events that I've been doing in SGT weren't counting because there was a mismatch between my username in GS Pro and my username on the SGT website. So I've been playing all of these rounds, and the reason that they weren't registering as finished was because of that name mismatch. My name in GS Pro was Turbo Talon Golf, and the name I had registered in SGT was just Turbo Talon. So that's fun. Yeah, throw your questions and stuff in the chat if you have any, if anybody even decides to tune in. But basically, I'm just going to spend this live stream playing catch-up, which sucks, but you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Need to stop changing settings and just play golf. I've got the chat window set up in the bottom left-hand side of the screen. I've got a bunch of Zoom applied, so hopefully we can read any comments that come in. But that's about it. I'm just going to start playing golf. Because none of this stuff's been counting. There's no way I could play all of these rounds in one day, but we'll do as many as we can. I always try to hit Flying Fat Kid and Hazel Rocket Golf. Most of these tours, and what's crazy is I can't believe these tours are already starting to say winter. I can't believe it's already September. Stuff old people say. I made an observation last night, and basically the gist of it was don't commit to things when you've been drinking. And it's not because I did that, it's just because it's an observation I made. If you are about to make a commitment to someone you wouldn't normally make a commitment to, say you don't get along with your mother-in-law or father-in-law or whatever, and you've had a few drinks and you're about to commit to like do something with a person you would not normally associate with on purpose, maybe hold off on that. I know this is very obscure, but I have very obscure thoughts. If you're going to commit some amount of money that you wouldn't normally commit, like I don't know, like, hey, let's go on this trip and I'll pay the airfare or something. Something you would never normally commit to paying for. Maybe hold off till the next morning when the booze is out of your system. And the third one is if you're going to commit a resource you would not ever normally commit, like, oh yeah, you can use my truck to move your couch tomorrow, but this is nothing you would ever normally let somebody do. Like, I don't typically let people drive my cars unless it's a pretty dire circumstance. But anyway, obscure thought there. I'm pretty sure you didn't tune in to listen to me yap. Where was Flying Fat Kids League? Hopefully everything's fixed now. We'll know after we play this round if it disappears from the queue. If not, then I know I need to do something different. I've already played this, being grand at Granville Denison Golf Club, but it didn't count, so I guess I'm getting a second chance at life. Gimme Auto Putt is set to 10, very generous. We're going to play white tees that are 5,650 yards. Total course length, Friday pins. Green firmness is soft, but the stimp's pretty high. You can see we've got the 2 exclamation marks here, which is basically GS Pro saying don't use that stimp on this golf course. It is what it is. Fairway firmness is hard and wind is breezy. Hopefully we can get some tailwind off the tee and be good to go there. And then the tournament's at about 1,000 feet above sea level. Let's get it loaded up and start knocking out some of this stuff here. Okay, so I didn't have the chat scrolled down because I'm a dumbass. I see For Golf's Sake and Hosel Rocket are in the chat. I appreciate you guys. How big is that in the window here? It's pretty good size. Let's see what another level of zoom does. Oh, I like that even better. That's starting to get a little out of hand. That actually doesn't work. Zoom out. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm not very entertaining, but I do got a lot of catch up to do. If you didn't catch the beginning of the sermon, my SGT and GS Pro names were mismatched, so none of the events I've been doing counted. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat. If not, I'm just going to golf and watch for you guys to say stuff. I'm not warmed up. I may or may not be a little hungover. What do we got here? A short par 4. 5-iron. Of note, since I think both of you guys are using square launch monitors, I haven't tried that API connector yet. And what's going on with my computer is I have a standalone USB dongle, Asus or Asus BT500. But what's happening is Windows keeps trying to install the Bluetooth adapter on the motherboard, even though I keep saying disable and uninstall driver. Windows is just doing whatever it wants, as it always has. I've been using Windows since back in the XP days, and it's pretty much done anything it wanted. Yeah, you can borrow my truck, but ask again when I've had a few beers, sir. Okay. Gotta play some catch up here. I think I hit near that marker last time. 138. What was that? Was that toey? Not quite. If you guys have any funny stories about letting people borrow stuff because you had too many beers. Oh. For Golf's Sake says I'm the funniest sim golf YouTuber he knows. Oh boy. Well, thanks, sir. I don't know what my 138 club is right now, because I got these Ping G425s. I can't remember. I think it's okay if we go long, so let's hit a 9-iron here, maybe till I get warmed up. You can see we have some wind. I'm guessing that I'm not focused on GS Pro because nothing's moving. There we go. Will it work now? Yeah, it works now. Oh boy, it's gonna be a wild ride, boys. What was wrong with, so that was off the heel. So apparently the middle of the club is off limits. You either get the heel or the toe. We're short-sided now. Can't even be on in 2 on a 300-yard par 4. This is pretty typical golf for me. That was pretty sweet. Hazel, I was watching you in Big Dog's round. I didn't see it live. I don't know what I was doing. But the thumbnail made me think you were playing one of those themed courses. There's this like themed course on GS Pro that's like House of the Dead or like Halloween themed. Yep. So a bogey on a 300-yard par 4 is not very promising. Chat seems a bit small to you. Personally, I would zoom in almost double. I can mess around with that here. Chat seems small. Let me see what I can do here. I mean, it is getting very large. That's what she said. See, now can I zoom down? So I can't see the bottom chat anymore. Do I got to drag this down? This just can't be easy. Okay, so now we can see most of, I don't know if it'll let me zoom, it'll let me keep zooming in. Maybe that. Just let me know, I'll keep on trying. You can tell I don't live stream very much. And I also have no friends. I'm just kidding, I have a few friends. So it's a game of diminishing returns here. If you're zoomed in too far, I can't even get the screen. But I can see you guys' last comment now. I just need to make this look a little bit less like a 10-year-old set it up. That's about as large as the chat's gonna get. Okay. What are we doing on this hole? I don't know. What am I doing with my life? Yesterday I was hitting on the golf course and I found out that if you're in any sort of strange lie where your ball is below or above your feet, or you're hitting down or hitting up, I have no business hitting a wood. Like, I would top the ball, it would dig into the ground and then roll like 50 yards. I can hit my woods fine off of like the tee or a flat lie, but the second that anything gets above or below anything else, I need to hit an iron. I don't know if you guys have that problem too, but even when Flying Fat Kid and I were out playing when I was in Ohio, I think last weekend, and I tried to hit a wood off of any sort of strange lie, like it wouldn't work. It was always topped, right? So I'd be coming over the ball, and then it'd just dig into the ground, and you'd feel like a real moron. That should be fine. We're right by that white stick again. What's in the chat? Nothing. Good. So I got a $150 to the pin here. You're just gonna stick right there. And now I can't see my freaking ball. All I know is that I got 29 feet downhill and I'm down a foot, so I got to subtract 12 from that. Of course, I don't have my damn mouse pointer on GS Pro. There we go. 29 feet is gonna play, what, 17 feet? I missed so many putts by like a quarter of an inch yesterday on the golf course. It was absurd. Oh wow, a par. Must drink water. Yes, sir. I basically run on coffee. I think if I use driver here, I'm going to end up in those trees or those trees. 315 yard par 4. I'm just going to tee off with a 7 wood. Hit a little draw. What's crazy is I'm at the point in my golf career where I don't know if I'm going to hit a draw or a fade. Like yesterday, I was teeing off on the 8th hole, dead straight, no draw, no fade, about 275 yards. Wind's directly in our face. I'm just going to go try to get on the green. I think I know what club I'm supposed to hit here. I think that was short. Way short. Rookie. You rookie. They probably had a lot of backspin though. Like my club went right under the ball. Oh, dude. This is the life of a beginner golfer right here. 300 yard par 4, and I'm basically hitting the ball like 20 feet at a time. Let me guess, that's not in the circle. Oh, dude. You can hit a 400 yard drive. If you don't have a short game, you're going to get rickrolled. End of story. You're going to get rickrolled. See, double bogey on a 300 yard par 4. It's hilarious because sometimes I'm like, after 3 holes, I'm like 2 under, 3 over. Golf's an interesting sport, if nothing else. Okay, we got some wind in our face. Like it's everybody's seen a video or a TikTok that's basically saying golf's so hard you have no business being mad. And I agree. Come on. I agree. Okay, if we can keep hitting pars, that'll be fun. But what I'm mostly looking for right now is good ball striking. I want the ball to go approximately where I aimed and approximately the distance that club should go. I honestly don't think new golfers should keep score for like the first 2 years. And I get it, somebody's going to say, well, how do you know how you're doing? Maybe use some other data points, like how many balls do you lose in a round? Are you constantly holding up pace of play? Is there always a team up your ass on the golf course? But like scratching a score on your scorecard when you started golfing 2 weeks ago with your pawn shop set of clubs, I don't know if that's necessarily a great idea. That's my 2 cents on it. After golfing pretty hardcore for a year, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about like keeping score. And I'm sure there are other opinions on the matter, but it was making it so I wasn't having fun anymore. Yeah, I get it. Like there's every bit of evidence that suggests you shouldn't get mad. Like, hey, I'm not a pro golfer. I don't get paid to play golf. But for some reason, there's some very infuriating shots. Maybe this one. I mean, it's going over to the right, but it should at least have a shot at the next shot. So this lie right here in the rough, in real life, I would top the hell out of the ball with a wood. Honest to God. Like this shot it'd probably go like 30 or 40 yards and it'd still be in the rough up here before the fairway. My best bet right here is to hit some sort of iron. And I know with the elevation and the fact we're hitting out of the rough, I need to probably hit this thing over 200 yards. But I wouldn't hit a wood out of this lie in real life. Like I would just top the hell out of the ball. That is just me being honest. Oh boy. Yeah, my temper's gotten a lot better too. I've never been like a club thrower, but I would certainly have some colorful language and maybe hit my club on the ground. All right, I should have aimed further to the right. The plight of the beginner golfer. I do like these ping clubs though. Okay, ball's gonna come out right. This one's tough because I think the fairways are set to hard. So if you get a little bounce off the fairway before you get your little bounce off the green, you're gonna be in bad shape. Or just hit, yeah, see that wasn't straight, but it did what I thought it would do. It hit off the fairway and then we're still not on the green. Let's putt this one. It's going downhill, breaking hard to the left. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday morning. Man, that's breaking hard to the left. And the ball's gonna come out left. Let's just trickle this down. 7, 14, 21, something. Oh, wow. Another bogey. I was talking to somebody at work about golf on Friday, and I said in any other sport you have a specific person that does a specific job. Like an offensive lineman is an offensive lineman, and that's a big old boy, right? 300 plus pounds, tough as an ox. Quarterback's usually a little more nimble type of smaller guy. Defensive back is a big tough SOB, you know, a walking muscle. But in golf, you are every position. You have to know how to hit a driver. You have to know how to putt. You have to know how to hit this shot and that shot and all kinds of different stuff out of all kinds of different lies. Oop, I did it again. There we go. Britney Spears my camera. It's not like you don't bring Bryson out to hit the tee shot and then you don't bring Scotty out to hit your approach and then I don't know who's a really good putter in the PGA right now, but you have to play all the positions on the field. Yeah, man, I keep forgetting you're on the other side of the planet. Like a lot. It's 10 p.m. there. It's 6:40 a.m. here. Holy shnikes, buddy. Because we were, at some point in time, we were planning on flying down there for a vacation, and I need to be prepared for a hell of a time change. So hopefully I don't hook this, because it's OB. Nope, certainly didn't hook it. It is pretty cool that you're off work tomorrow. Okay, I got 240, 250, 260 to the pin. I wouldn't hit a wood out of this lie in real life. I would just be in a bunch of trouble. I get it, it's a video game. You should just hit whatever club's gonna get you the closest to the pin, but that kind of doesn't work for me. Man, pulling everything. See, good in to out with a closed club face, so I must be, I'm turning over. Oh boy. I think the thing I'm most interested to see is if this round counts. So this club is chronically hitting short. My 58-degree wedge is hitting chronically short. 70 carry. It's supposed to hit about 85. Maybe I'm getting 2 under it. So I need to start hitting those shots with my 54-degree or this ping utility wedge, because I'm just eating strokes here at an astronomical rate on these short approaches. Looks like we have a tiered green. Uh, 147 playing much shorter. 138 with a tailwind. That's a tough call to make. Pin's already on the back of the green. Man, I'm hitting short. What the hell? Okay, if my replay camera is glitching out, I know that it's time to turn down some graphic settings. Oh boy. Well, I mean, it was toey. I do have a bit of a confession to make. I gotta eat crow on something. All the comments I made in all of my videos saying play whatever clubs you want to play. If you want to play game improvement irons, play them. If you want to play muscle backs or blades, play them. It's partially true. But when I went back from my muscle backs to these cavity back pings, I noticed a lot. I noticed my game was more enjoyable. Like every shot didn't feel like I was hitting a softball off of the wrong part of the bat. So do play whatever clubs you want to play, or if you've only got access to certain clubs, like you're on a budget and you find a set of muscle backs super cheap, yeah, certainly do play them. But it's certainly less enjoyable when you're playing clubs where your sweet spot's the size of a dime. Is that going to hold the fairway? I don't feel like it's going to. Damn GS Pro 160. It's a par 4. I was playing with a guy yesterday because me and Mike got paired up with a couple of random people. That's a nice way to say it. And we were all walking. We had our carts. And this older gentleman, he was probably, I'd say he was in his mid-50s, but he kept commenting on the clubs in my bag. Like, hey, those are pretty expensive clubs. Like, you probably got, you know, a few $1,000s worth of clubs in that bag. And I was like, this is a strange conversation to be having with somebody you've never met before. Like, I wasn't looking at his clubs. I couldn't even tell you what clubs he was hitting. Damn it. Oh, that really just went. Sit down. Okay, we just went coast to coast. Pretty embarrassing. Just kidding, I don't care. Ball's gonna come out left. Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether I should keep the Mizunos or try to unload them and invest that money into something else. But for now, they're just going to be on the wall over here. I let my ego get in the way. I said, these are good looking irons. I'm going to buy them. And I got no problem saying I'm wrong. I was pretty wrong about that. They just don't feel very good. We found a wedge. Somebody left a wedge on the side of a green. It was earlier this summer. But we were looking at it, and the spot where the guy hit was like the size of a dime. That's where the wear mark was. He hit in that spot so many times that there was a damn wear mark. A little dime-sized wear mark on his club. Right? Pretty impressive. Yeah, Hazel, they do have categories for a reason, but if you've known me for very long, I'm kind of a pompous a-hole and kind of a, how do I say this? I don't like to conform to the rules, I guess. Okay, so that one was right. Everything else has been getting pulled left. Maybe I should golf more and talk less. But we're doing okay, right? I'm not really a big score guy right now, but this is pretty typical golf for me. I think another thing that your ego hurts in your golf game is your progression. Like, if you're not willing to admit to yourself that you probably should get a swing coach or go get a lesson, all you're doing is delaying the inevitable, because golf isn't something that you learn to play on your own. Well, you typically don't learn to play it on your own. It's incredibly difficult, and you should probably get a swing coach. What do we got? Yeah, I agree with you 100%, and that is exactly why you don't see me hitting driver very much right now. It's just too erratic. If I get a nice big, like, Bandon Dunes fairway, I'll hit driver. But usually I find any excuse I can to not hit it, which is, it's dumb, but if I practice driver elsewhere where it's not actually affecting my game, I think that's a little bit better of an idea. I got a question for you for golf's sake. These Ping G 425s go all the way, right? They've got a pitching wedge, utility wedge, sand wedge, lob wedge that are all the same. Would you use a matching set, like 5 through lob wedge, or would you go like 5 through pitching wedge and then have individual irons for your lofted clubs? What would you personally do? Because I'm thinking of getting the entire set 5 through lob wedge, but obviously I can only find that stuff directly through Ping, and they do want a king's ransom for some of these clubs, and you got to give them the serial number off the hosel and everything. But what would you do? Would you have a matching set 5 through 58 degree, or would you just use specialized individual wedges for your scoring clubs, your high lofted clubs? Or Hazel, if you have any input on that. Because I've got a bit of OCD, and so I kind of want to see the same club head in my bag from like 4 or 5 through on down, which is weird because golf clubs are tools. They're not really supposed to, like, it doesn't matter how they look, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't like how narrow this fairway is, so I'm not going to hit driver. Although it does clear up, if I do slice one, it does clear up down there at the right. Oh, that's fun. I have so many questions for this captive audience. Okay, this is basically the worst place we could be right now. I kind of want to play this adjacent fairway, which is kind of a cop-out. Let's see what we've got here. How do I get up here? Can I even get up there? Get onto the fairway. Okay, that was a decent little punt shot. Luckily it's a par 5. We have a little more leeway. But we still got a mile to go. Quite a long ways to go. It's hard to complain about that shot. Okay. So 4 through, okay. Hey, Bill, I see your comment. How much is it to do a round on this machine? I guess if you're in northern Utah and you're not a serial killer, you can come over and play around with me today. But depending on what kind of question you're asking, this is my personal simulator, and I don't, besides the money I've invested into it, I just pay the power bill, and I pay for GS Pro annually, but that's it. If I'm not answering your question the way you would like it answered, let me know and I'll try to elaborate. But I'm not in like a commercial simulator or anything. I'm just a dude in his garage that's got more dollars than cents. Oh, hey, Bill, you're good. There's nothing off limits here. No, I mean, you can still come over, Ego. That's a funny comment. He says he hit serial status last week, so he can't come over. You can still come over. Okay, once again, we've got trees on the right and trees on the left. It's a 375-yard par 4. Okay, Bill's in Detroit. Yeah, it probably ain't worth coming over, brother. But there may be a commercial simulator near you. I don't know if you're into golf or this just popped into your feed because of YouTube's weird algorithm, but is that actually going to hold the fairway? Of course it's not. Hey, what is an oil can wedge? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I mean, I could Google it. One of my buddies uses Vokies. Okay, that was a really good drive with the 5 wood. Just weren't able to hold the damn fairway. Let's see if I can get something on the green. I'm living in a state of confusion right now about what club to hit. I had my Mizunos dialed in. They usually went the distance that they were supposed to when I was able to hit them, which wasn't too often. Let's see if the wind brings this back over to the green. Oh, it was fat. Damn it. Waste of a stroke, buddy. Oh, it's on the fairway, though. That's good news. Get in the circle. I don't want to putt. Change out the sand wedge and lob wedge to low bounce wedges. I know a little bit about what bounce on a golf club means, but I don't necessarily want to build a set of clubs just for my simulator. If it would have a benefit in the sim and on the real course, I'm all about it, but I don't want to have special clubs for the simulator. I already think that the simulator kind of gives you a false sense of security. And in a couple of months here, the simulator is going to be the only way that I'm able to play golf, because there's some days you can play golf in the winter here in Utah if we're having like a warm day. This is going to play, I don't know, 22 feet. Oh, come on, buddy. Just smoked that ball. How did I hit that so hard? So this is for bogey, and you aren't typically going to make 11-foot putts. Like, just come to grip with it. And so I'm looking at a double here. I probably ought to stop talking and golfing. But I hit the live stream button on purpose. So there's a double bogey bringing us, I believe, to 7 over par. This is pretty normal golf for me. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some research on bounce. I've seen a little bit about it, but I'm not very versed on it. I know it has something to do with right here on the club, but that's about it. What do we got here? Another narrow fairway, but it opens up sort of where my drive would land. So let's hit driver. Let's keep it spicy here. So spicy. Wind in our face. Driver's a hard club to hit. That wasn't bad. I know I'm quite a GS Pro cynic, but when I hit a shot that feels that way out on the real course, it doesn't go 20 yards offline like that. I don't usually hit woods out of this lie, so I'm going to have to be relegated to a medium iron here. Not bad. I'm trying to think of some stuff I wrote down to talk about. I'm trying to keep it spicy here. Well, not spicy. I don't really want to talk religion or politics. Yeah, that was the course we played yesterday. It was a 9-hole course, so we played it twice to hit 18. And it was kind of cool because I could play the hole different on the second go around than I did on the first. Like if I noticed something didn't work or there was some topography I wasn't really aware of, when that hole came around the second time, I was able to play it differently, which was kind of cool because you weren't playing 18 distinctly different holes. You basically got a second chance at life on every hole. Yeah, I feel that. Cameron says, do your wedges have 2 numbers on them? One of them, I think one of them does. Yeah, like this Callaway Jaws Raw has a 58 on it, which is obviously the loft, and then it has a 8Z as in Zulu. I'm guessing based on the conversation we're having, that's the bounce. But it's whatever 8 Zulu is. Okay, bounce is the second number. What does it mean? What is the range? And I could also look this up, but if you haven't noticed yet, I'm very lazy. I'm playing lazy Sunday morning golf. Okay, this is gonna play like 29 feet somehow. Okay, Z's the grind, 8 is semi-low. What is the range? If 8 is semi-low, what's the range? And yeah, I understand I can look all this up. If you guys are doing something else and don't want to answer, that's perfectly fine. This is a pretty open fairway, but the place where I would probably land my ball is not that open. Short par 4. I'm just going to try and get down there to the 213 mark and then up onto the green. Okay, 10 to 12 is high. 4's very low, 10 to 12 is high. So what does a beginner golfer want? Do they want low or high? Like what's going to be more forgiving for me? Or is it not about forgiveness? Is it about something else? That felt a little thin. I'm guessing we're not going to quite get the distance we wanted there. Yeah, that's pretty short for a 5-iron, but we were going uphill. Now I got to hit over a tree. Okay, Cameron says options are good. Does that mean how many wedges should I have in a bag of 14 clubs, and should they all have like a varying bounce or? Yeah, if that question makes a lick of sense to anybody. That was a very, very unfortunate shot. It seemed like it was in the air for 15 minutes. Now I got to hit out of a bunker. I was doing some sand trap work at my local golf course, and the sand trap was so wet, like your club would slap. It would slap onto the dirt, like you couldn't get under the ball. It kind of pissed me off. That wasn't a bad shot. Okay. And I don't need to carry 14 clubs. I can have 17 clubs in my bag. Nobody's gonna, right? I'm not playing for money. Nobody's gonna say, like, how many clubs do you have in your bag? This is playing 15 feet. It's breaking pretty hard. I'm guessing I'm gonna end up way below the hole. Or it's just gonna sadly dribble over toward the hole. See, that's how unfamiliar with golf I am. I thought that ball was gonna do something different. 158, tailwind. Oh, I did it again, pulled it again. Oh, yep, it's basically gonna bounce over to the next tee box. Right behind, it's gonna go right behind that tree, isn't it? Oh my God. Golf is fun. That's what they keep telling me. 43, we're short-sighted. Get in the hole. Oh, you turd. Oh, he got out of there with a par even after that dog crap shot. What do we got here? We got some water on the 15th. 420 par 4. It looks like there's a lot of room for me to screw up on the right. But I don't want to be hitting off of a hill either. Huh, what do you do here? Yeah, I'm always, when I can hear my ball hit off of a cart path on the golf course, I know A, I ruined a golf ball, and B, that it's probably going to be somewhere pretty undesirable. That'd be nice if you just bounced all the way down to the fairway. Okay, so we've got a lie right here where the ball's above our feet. Not desirable. I'm just gonna hit an iron shot out of here. We do have some wind helping us out. That's weird. Oh. Oh. Golf's a funny sport. What do we got here? We got a rough lie. For some reason, the short game is not too bad today. I guess some of it's not too bad. Those short chips aren't going too bad. 16th hole, short par 4. Good old golf. Oh, that just felt wretched. What happened there? What was it? I left my tee. The tee didn't move. It didn't hardly move at all. I don't know if it bounced out at the end. But basically I picked the ball. These fairways are really narrow. What's crazy is this is the second time I've played this because of my naming debacle. 58 up 8. Oh my goodness gracious. Woo! You guys, this is actually worse golf than I play on the course. What are we doing here? Left. Get in the damn hole. 138 up 6. We got a lot of wind. Blah, 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 blah. Did the wind just shift completely? Well, hell, that ain't bad. It's gonna be a brutal putt, though. Brutal putt. We'll see what it does. It's playing about 24 feet. I got a feeling that's gonna keep on going. Oh yeah, here, let's hit the space bar. Ain't nobody got time for this. I think I remember this green from the first time I played. And I think it ate my lunch that day too. All aboard the bogey train. Bill says, sometimes when by yourself you start swing too fast and too much. As a fellow solo golfer, I sometimes hit in the cart for 5 minutes to reset my mind. Sit in the cart for 5 minutes to reset my mind. Bill, I love your advice. However, here in Utah, you can't sit in your cart for 5 minutes or you're gonna have the marshal on your ass. Like, it's super hard to get a tee time here anywhere. And they want you playing at a 15-minute per hole pace, but they're putting foursomes off of the first tee every 10 minutes. So you got to kind of get those mental breaks where you can. But there's no solo golf here. And you're always going to be in a foursome no matter what. And there's going to be a foursome in front of you and a foursome behind you. And you can count on it being a log jam all the way. But that's really good advice. And when I tell people that are not from Utah, they don't believe me, which is okay. But like when Flying Fat Kid and I were playing golf in Ohio last weekend, like there was nobody behind us, there was nobody in front of us. Like Josh was running his drone. Like we had time to do, like take it easy and be slow, but for some reason you just can't do that here. But that is good advice. I'm all about mental resets. There's a lot going on. If you think about all of the stuff that's going on right now for the general human being in a developed country, there's always people texting you and IMing you and hitting you up on this social media platform and that social media platform. Like you don't really have any time to unwind, you know? That was creamed, but it's heading left. We are going to be blocked out from the green unless we get some sort of miracle bounce here. Yeah, we're dead. Oh, wow. Actually not dead. Yeah, we try to tee off as early as we can, but the earliest tee times here in Utah generally for non-members is 6:50 a.m. I'd like to know what course you're playing on because we would get arrested for trespassing if we teed off by moonlight at 6 a.m. Yeah, Utah's a different animal. I know every state's got its quirks, but Utah's got a highly influential local religious population, and there are way too many people here. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about religion or politics, but I guess the can is open. We got 100 yards in. I'm going to have to hit some sort of magical bump and run shot. Everything's going to want to drain to the left, so let's maybe aim a little right. Yeah, there's too many people here, brother. So if I hadn't aimed to the right, that would have been maybe in the hole. It's just an absolute rat race here. I guess it got bad during COVID because you could still play golf. You obviously couldn't ride in a cart with another person during COVID because of the protocols, but golf's something you could easily still do. That was pretty bad. Hopefully that holds. That was a pretty bad misread. There's your score, guys. 10 over. That's pretty typical for me. Getting warmed up. Probably had a couple too many beers last night. Let's check out the stats. Nothing to write home about here. It was a good round with some okay ball striking, but it wasn't a great round. You see we have 3 greens and 2 fairways. We're honestly lucky to have only been 10 over with those percentages. And then the round was quite long, but it's different when you're live streaming because you gotta converse with your peeps. Okay guys, here's the moment of truth. We're gonna see if that tournament is not available anymore, meaning it counted. Okay, it looks like it's gone. I think we fixed the problem. Is for golf's sake. For golf's sake, Australian courses, Avondale, if you're still here, let's go ahead and play that, and then I'm probably going to end the stream because I need some breakfast, or I'll have a mic die or something. 4-foot gimme auto putts, yellow tees at 6,000 yards, Saturday pins, greens are soft with a stimp of 11. I like soft greens because they mask my mistakes better. Fairway firmness is normal with a calm wind, and we are at 150 feet above sea level. Let's get it loaded up. I'm actually going to go, okay, he's still here. I'm loading you up, buddy. You guys, I have gotten like professional level golf advice from For Golf's Sake. If you can, go subscribe to his channel. He expertly restores golf clubs to like better than factory condition. They're just beautiful. But if you can get in there, I'm gonna let you guys look off the tee box of the first hole while I go grab a protein bar because I need to eat. My gut's starting to rumble, but I'll be back in 2 jiggles of a jackrabbit's arse. Give me 1 minute. Let me get my mic here. Let me get my mic. This comment is gold. Gamer Dad says he wouldn't want to play around like that. It doesn't seem enjoyable being grouped with randoms and rushed to play. 100% spot on the mark. I guess the only thing I would say is sometimes I'm the random for the other players, right? Because if you're grouped with random people, you yourself are the rando in the group for them. Especially when they see my big dumb bald ass and they're like, oh no, who's this guy? Yeah. I was born and raised in Utah, and then I left for 20 years to serve in the Air Force, the U.S. Air Force. And then I was lucky enough to get a pretty good job, and my wife and I came back. We live up in northern Utah. We don't really have any intention of leaving. But I would say golf here is not ideal, but I'm part of the problem. Because to someone else, I am the rando. But if you look at it from the view of like the golf course owner, they're going to be wanting to push foursomes off of that tee box every 10 minutes, right? Maximizing output. Because they got greenskeepers to pay and cart boys and cart girls and the guy who works at the front desk. Okay, for this hole, if we hit to the 208 mark, there's not a ton of danger, but if I was to try to get up there, because this is a relatively short par 4, if I was to try to get up to the green, I would kind of be introducing a bunch more danger. And I've just been trying to play smarter golf. That's drawing over a little bit. Maybe we'll hold the fairway, but knowing GS Pro, we probably won't. And I think we're starting to get some graphical hiccups here. Let's go ahead and check. What's our button here? So I think we're holding 60 frames a second. I'm not seeing anything too weird. This course doesn't appear to have an option to enable or disable 3D grass. That can really kick the crap out of your graphics card. 132 yards. Wind's blowing to the left. Blah, blah, blah. You ever feel like you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again? Oh wait, you are, it's golf. Oh, that strike felt good, but I think we all know where it's headed. It's just, it's a hard sport. What is the statistic? Like 50% of golfers don't regularly break 100 strokes. Or something like that. Like statistically, you have a very good statistical chance of not being good at golf. It just takes so much work. Well, that was a really crummy shot. I'm starting to see some graphical hiccups here. Let's maybe turn the graphics down a notch and see if we keep getting the hiccups. Downhill shot. That sucked. What is this, the first hole? I'm already having a great time, let me tell you what. For bogey. And you probably aren't going to make a 14-foot putt. Like, get over it. It's not happening. We'll try, though. Oh! Man, I love this. I love this game. Double bogey on the first hole. I did not get a par, sir. I'm sure the scorecard will pop up here because I'm a real boy now, but I didn't get a par. Where's the scorecard? Okay, I can't get the scorecard to come up, but yeah, buddy, I'm 2 over after 1. Let's see here, $157 with a bit of a tailwind. We'll just keep on playing golf. What's funny is you get better at it over time. Like, I talk a lot of smack, but my game has improved over the last year. But by the time your game's improved to a point where you're noticing it, you've already set a new goal, and the golf you're playing is no longer acceptable anymore. It's kind of this self-licking ice cream cone, if you will. Oh, was that the right club? I think it was. Just couldn't bother to stop, though. Maybe we can get out of here with a par. I know my voice is going to be hoarse. Okay, you guys are about to get a lesson on how to turn a par into a bogey here, because I couldn't manage to get into the damn circle. It's not a long putt, but it is breaking. It's gonna play like 7 feet. Yep. Dude, I think you're gonna whoop my ass. I can't even make a putt. I think we're gonna go double-double. Oh my God. Over it, under it, so double-double. Golf's too hard. You can't get mad at golf. It's entirely too difficult. If you get mad at golf, you're just going to spend a lot of time mad. And that's bad for your health. So +4 after 2 holes. And this is kind of why I don't keep score on the real golf course anymore. Sorry, I'm talking while I eat. If you're already 4 strokes up after 2 holes, you're going to spend the rest of the round trying to recover those 4 strokes. You're not going to enjoy yourself. You're not going to pay attention to the beautiful scenery or appreciate that you've got 2 legs to walk with and 2 arms to swing a golf club with. You're going to be pissed off for 16 more holes because you're already 4 over after 2. Unless your brain works differently than mine. You're just going to be pissed off for the rest of the round. And that's why I don't keep score anymore. When I stop going 4 over after 2 holes, I might start thinking of scribbling something on a scorecard, but that is not the golf I'm playing. We've been set up for success here again on the 3rd hole. Maybe looking at another double. But we've got to hit a high lofted club to get out of here. This round is already, in my opinion, if I was keeping score for real, like, I wouldn't be having fun anymore if I was already 4 up after 2 holes. What kind of club do I hit to get over these trees? The club ain't gonna go that far. Let's just see if I can get up and over here. Did that ball hit a branch or? Looked like it hit a branch. Okay, we still got a $185 in. So for golf's sake, I'm guessing I'm going to be, let's say I finish in the mid 80s or low 90s, just based on what's going on here. 185. And I think you typically score better than that. How'd we do? We'll be on the green, I think, but hell of a putt. Kind of wanted a little more carry than that, but I think we thicked it. And then this downhill putt is sweeping very rapidly from right to left. This one will be fun for the whole family, I can assure you of that. It's 35 playing 20 something. But I think it's just going to start leaking to the left almost immediately here. That ain't bad. Okay, we're holding on at 4 over. $170 with a bit of a wind. We've got a pretty long, narrow green here. I wouldn't say it's a sucker pin, but yeah. That felt thin. It's kind of funny to me how your golf game can be so different from day to day. Like, that wasn't a bad shot. We were about pin high. It's just, this is a tough sport. Get in there. I think an important part of being a beginner golfer is being honest with yourself, knowing that this is a difficult sport. And when you are watching PGA Tour golf on TV, just remember you're seeing the best golfers in the world and you're only seeing their best shots. If you try to base your golf game on that, you are going to be disappointed day in and day out, and you're probably not going to have a good time. This fairway's okay. I'm not saying never hit driver. But I guess be smart about it. I've been blessed with the ability to get my fairway woods an average distance as compared to how far people typically hit driver. And unless you're playing the tips, right? I don't love having a 190-yard shot into the green on a par 4, because the likelihood of it landing on the green, I would say, is pretty small. But yeah, I can't hit anything today. Get up there. Yeah, that was fat and toey, my God. Could it be any worse? I guess I could have missed the ball altogether. When you're having such a bad day that you're missing the ball completely, how did that go from out of Zoom again? Those are some rough days. Okay, that's a good shot. Just, it could have been gooder. It could have been much gooder. 23 feet, playing about 30. Did I read that right? Yeah. That was a pretty shitey misread. Oh, it's just going to make us keep putting. Okay. Not doing too bad. I'm a 22 handicap golfer in real life. So, Okay, so now this camera is zooming too. You guys, having a simulator with 15 cameras in it is like so fun. I look like a moron. I'm like doing hand gestures into the camera like a weirdo. But like that zoom view's not helping anybody out. What do we got to do? 373. Let's hit driver and see what happens. The misses today mostly to the right, but I come over the top, so you can expect a miss to the right. Or that happens. Yeah. We'll see what's going on with this lie. It might be better to take a sim drop. I think I can get laterally over onto the fairway. Usually we save sim drops for the most dire of circumstances. What do we got to do here? So we're basically wasting a stroke on a par 4 to get on the fairway. That must have been Healy. Yeah, it was Healy. So let's just get back over on the fairway and take our lumps. There's no use in being angry about it. All right, so you're 2 strokes in. You're 2 strokes in on a 375-yard par 4, and you still have well over 200 yards to go. You are guaranteed to eat at least a double bogey here. Maybe I can do some miraculous shot with this fairway wood, but right now we're playing this hole as basically a double. Okay, so it took 3 shots to get on. This will be putting for par. If we can get it up that huge hill, we might be able to get out of here with a regular old bogey. Hard uphill, and it's going to bend to the left. Let's see what we can do here. It's going to play almost 65 feet. Is that right? 43 plus 22. I believe that math is semi-correct. Okay, let's see if it makes us putt again. I think okay, we got out of there with a bogey. The key thing you got to remember is if you screw up off the tee, you still got to play normal golf for the rest of the hole. If you screw up off the tee, you're probably not going to hit some miracle shot to give yourself a chance at birdie or whatever. It's probably not happening. See, that thing is going, this driver's ruining my life. I need to stop using it. It's just not working right now, and to continue using it is just going to continue to balloon my score up. So, it's kind of a game of chess. But we keep on plugging away at it, right? And some courses in GS Pro have way worse colliders. You see I was able to get through that tree. Ball still went 180. But different designers use different sizes of colliders. And sometimes your ball will hit that tree and drop to the ground. Sometimes you'll go through it. I realize that that's how it works on the real golf course too, and this is not exactly a revelation. But hitting through trees in GS Pro is always a gamble. That ball's going awfully high. Oh, I'll take that all day. Get in there. Oh man, I needed that. Both on 5 after 5. Yeah, I needed that birdie. That's what Hazel and Big Dog do on every hole. They'll park that ball right next to the pin, and it's either in the circle or they putt it in usually. So we've got a sucker pin here, right behind a bunker. I don't possess that type of golf discipline, so what I'm going to do is put the ball somewhere on or near the green, but I'm not going to chase that pin. Wind's kind of died down. Yeah, it ain't going to be on the green, but it should not be in a bunker. Oh, is it going to be on the green, but like a mile away from the pin? That's fine. My hip is killing me. Ooh, that's a putt. That's an ugly putt. It says it's downhill. I don't know, 30 something, 39 feet. That's not going to cut the mustard. Probably looking at least 2 more strokes. Let's see if I can get this up and in. Uphill. That's just going to have to do. All right, another very narrow fairway. We know the driver is not working. I don't know why, but I can guess because there's only a couple of reasons driver doesn't work. And that's because you're coming over the top, or if you are coming from in to out, your club face is not at the optimal angle at impact. That must have been toey. Let's see if we can clear this elbow. No, we're in a creek of crap here. So you scramble. If you're on the real course, you kick your ball out onto the fairway, but we can't do that here without taking a stroke. So we try to get a little 100-yarder. And it's a par 5, so we have a little bit of forgiveness, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you're going to kick my ass, sir. Not exactly playing pro-level golf here. I'm making some stupid mistakes. But I do appreciate a good chip in. We need to hit this quite a ways, 180. No, that's probably a little too exaggerated. That's heading toward the beach, boys. Maybe I can get a chip-in birdie out of the sand here. Good strike, though. That felt really good. Just because the ball didn't land where I wanted it to doesn't mean that strike didn't feel good, because it felt really nice. Yep, that's not a chip-in birdie. Maybe this will be a chip-in par. It almost was. But I think we're still going to need to putt here. Yep. What are we hitting here? 7 feet. Oh, bogey, 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 bogey. Uh, 221. I don't. We'll try driver again on the next round. You just got to know when to not hit driver. But at the same time, if you never hit it, you never learn how to hit it. Why is that going right? We're directly behind a tree. There's a huge valley or something here. Just gonna have to, I don't know, it says there's a fairway down there. Let's punch out and see if we can't get something going on here. Okay, that ball went right through that tree. Otherwise, we'd have been in trouble. That's what I was talking about earlier with colliders. Let's see here. 47 up out of the rough. We got plenty of green to work with. Should be able to get out of here with a bogey. That's over 16 feet though. Maybe we give it a little bit more. It's gonna play 20-something feet. Oh my. Sadly, bogey golf's pretty good golf. This is gonna play about 160. We got some bunker trouble. I'm guessing that was toey again. I'm not gonna look at the replay, I already know it was. Oh yeah, baby. Like so toey that you're not even on You're not even really on, I guess that was right on the edge of the lines in the club. And now unless this is some kind of magical chip shot, you're probably looking at a bogey. Sit. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But there's usually some part of your game that's not firing on all cylinders. Like I can't use my driver, right? But I guess you could say I'm smart enough to know to shelf it, to bench it. That wasn't bad with the 5 wood. Let's see, 120 into the pin. Oh, what happened there? 96 carry. It was basically a waste of a stroke. I guess we are closer. For par, I'm not even gonna touch this. It's playing about 7.5 feet. Still almost missed it. I don't know why I can't see a scoreboard. I guess we'll know if this round doesn't count when I'm done with it. Pretty narrow again. Trees everywhere, and not a drop to drink. Oh! Bounce back in. Okay, can't really see anything. Hide objects. Where is that? Hide objects. Doesn't do nothing. Looks like there's, it's hard to say, guys. $76 yards. Up 79. Oh, everything is short. That's pretty terrible carry. Please don't make me putt again. Don't! Dude, come on. HLA was 0.2. 10 over after 13 holes. Oh, buddy. Come on, you got this. Well, my waggle just cost me a stroke. There we go. So this is starting off famously. Gotta love that. Looks like it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Do we have an out? Do I have an out? Do I have to, can I get out somewhere without using a, no. So we're gonna use a sim drop. Rough hole. We're on our fourth shot and we're 300 out. Not bad. She's left, she's right. That's the inconsistent golf that I play. Kind of another reason that I don't think I have any business keeping score. The golf's just too inconsistent. Right, then you'll hit some sort of shot like that, and if that was the only glimpse you had, if that was the only snapshot you had, you'd be like, well, that was a really good shot. Yeah, but did you see the three before that? I can't get a putt to fall. Is that another double? Jeez. Jeez Louise. 122. We're plowing through events. Hopefully this one registers too. 122. The utility wedge has kind of been letting me down. We have a headwind. We got plenty of green to play with. Okay, I'll tell you right now, that's going to be short. Not bad, but could have been better. Long putt. 50, playing 62. I don't think I hit it. If I was using the Square Golf launch monitor, I would have been near the hole. Dude, come on. Is that another double? Oh, just a regular ass old bogey. Keith, I think you left another comment before. And it was kind of a snide comment too about getting rid of my slice. Dude, you can have all the data in the world. That does not have any bearing on what you're doing, right? Like, I know I need to change something based on what's coming in here, but that doesn't like transfer straight to muscle memory. So I don't know what kind of golf you think I'm supposed to be playing, or like if you're a scratch golfer or whatever, but like the data doesn't change anything. it gives you better it gives you a better idea of what to fix, but it doesn't mean that you're going to fix it. That's not wide enough. Like, I can appreciate where you're coming from, but I don't know if you're trying to be a dick or what you're trying to say, but most of your comments are kind of derogatory. Like, what are you trying to say? Like, I should be on the PGA Tour because I got a simulator? Like, what are you trying to say, bro? Like, I'm all about like constructive criticism and healthy conversation, but like, what are you getting at? 220. Because based on what you're saying, any random jack-off gets a simulator and they have all this data, and then all of a sudden they're a pro golfer. Like, I'm not picking up what you're trying to put down here, dude. Unless you're just trolling. That's pretty fun too. But I welcome your input. Research cause and effort from the data. Do you mean cause and effect? I already do research cause and effect from the data, I promise. Constantly. I also added this rear swing camera. No, dude, and I get it, but like, when all the comments I see from you are kind of like, you suck at golf, like, of course I'm going to question what you're trying to get at. Because I think one of the comments you left in the other one was something about how come you can't fix your slice. Oh, that's 13 over. See, this is a little bit wider of a landing zone, but I still don't think I should use driver. Oh, hit that speed slot. But yeah, I analyze data. I have spreadsheets. I have well over 300 videos I've posted now. If you go back and watch some of the earlier ones, like, they're pretty bad. I've fixed a lot of stuff based on this data, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be on the Corn Ferry Tour just because you have a simulator, is what I'm trying to say. I think I'm kicking a dead horse at this point, but that ain't how it works. See, that was crazy how that came off, because my pitching wedge has not been hitting that far at all. What do we got? Pine straw? Sit. And no, I see what you're saying, dude, but I wouldn't say my swing is textbook, but it does hit certain like checkpoints. But you can have the best looking swing in the world if your face is open or closed or whatever. It doesn't matter. You're not going to hit good shots. Like that was if I'd have taken a little bit of mustard off of that. But I'm guessing you're a, I don't know, low handicap or a scratch golfer based on your comments, so 242. Yeah, you're good, man. Just perception is reality, and your comments are typically pretty off color. See what went wrong there. See, I can see I came over the top. It's just not that easy is what I'm saying. What do we got here? I wish hide objects worked, but it doesn't. Can I rotate around and see anything? I can't. Do I have an out anywhere? So I seem to be in quite a little thicket of trees here. I'm gonna have to take a sim drop. Yeah, we're still a mile from the pin. Okay, so if you're a 20 down to a 16, then you are firmly aware of how hard golf is. And you know that it's not something that you just buy a new set of golf clubs and you're suddenly good at golf, right? Like, you got to work at it. And I only been golfing for a year, dude. How many years have you been golfing to get down to a 16? You know what I'm saying? Okay, we got a putt. This is 22 playing 34. No, it's not. 1 foot, yeah. Okay, we are finally out of that trash round. What do we got here? A lot of blue boxes. Yeah, so I knew I was going to be in the high 80s or low 90s, which is an absolute not okay score in the simulator because the simulator makes everything look way easier than it really is. But let's look at the stats. Yeah, similar to the last round, 4 greens, 1 fairway. 1 fairway, that's insane. Let's put this one behind us and move along. We'll head back out to the GS Pro splash screen. And let's see if it counted the round. So I shouldn't be able to see this round anymore. I think it just did go away. Okay, I think we're back. We're back in whatever we needed to do to have these rounds start counting. Hazel, I already played your Cowrie Cliffs or Kauri Cliffs, but it didn't count, so I'm going to take a full course mulligan here. 8-foot gimme auto putt, tee boxes are 6,000 yards, Friday pins, normal green firmness with an 11 stimp. Fairway firmness is normal, wind is calm, and we're at 500 feet above sea level. Let's get it loaded up. So dude, if you're already down to a 16 after 2 years, then you've been working pretty hard. I will give you some grace on the shit talking. But if you're down to a 16 after 2 years, then you know how hard this sport is. And if you have any videos of yourself playing, I would love to see them. Okay, it looks like we're able to hold 60 frames here. There's no noticeable stuttering going on. Are we still holding 60 frames? I should probably get a new graphics card. Okay, so this course is different than the last one. It doesn't look like every fairway is lined with damn trees, so we can go maybe try to hit driver here. Okay, that was not good. Driver was doing good for a long time, and it was fine on the golf course yesterday, but I just can't hit it today in the simulator. And I felt that gear effect, so I know that was a legit shitty shot. That was not I'm not gonna blame the simulator on that one. We're in a predicament. Let's just get out of here. I think that's going to go right again. What do we got here? Slightly over the top with a closed club face, yet somehow the ball ejects to the right. Yeah, I guess we would have put some spin on it, right? Yeah. I'm just a gorilla that swings golf clubs. Hey, for golf's sake, I see an ampersand and a 7, so I'm guessing you meant to go did you go 7 over? Because I think I went like 27 over, so I think you got me, buddy. But your comment's got an ampersand and a 7. I doubt you went 77 over par. Yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure you got me. That was a bad round. I mean, they're all kind of bad rounds. 69 yards here. Oh, wow. We'll take that. Oh, you shot an 87, dude. I think I shot an 87 too. Maybe. Did we shoot the same score? Yeah, I don't know. The fairways are a little wider here. We can't just stop hitting driver. You're going to be hitting out of the rough, but at least you won't be taking sim drops out of trees. Or sim drops to get out of trees. And we know the miss is typically to the right. Let's strengthen the grip up here and see if we can get the driver back on the wagon here. Hit that speed slot. Yeah, that was a tough course. Any course you play where the fairway's lined with trees, if your driver's not firing that day, or if it's never firing, you're gonna probably have a tough day. Either that or you hit 7-iron the whole round, which is probably gonna give you a similar score. This one's gonna play, let's call it 115. Pins on the bottom right of the green. Utility. Yeah, I wouldn't say I play terribly fast. It just depends on, like, when we were in Flying Fat Kid Simulator, he has it banked so the ball rolls right back to your hitting pad every time, and it definitely made the round go quicker. But I gotta walk up and scoop my ball up, right? So those seconds add up to minutes, but okay, so whatever that just hit, the U, we can probably expect about 100 yards out of this utility wedge, which is crazy, because I think it's a 49 or 50 degree. Or does that add up? Yeah, three wood off the tee. I think I was hitting a combination of 3, 5, and 7, and then every time I hit driver, usually bad things happened. That's an unfortunate chance. I think we're as far from the pin as we were when we originally shot, maybe further. I commonly refer to that as a waste of a stroke, because you're really in no better position than you were before. You could argue, yeah, now you're on the green, but you have a 20-foot putt, 21-foot putt. That almost fell. That was pretty sweet. What do we got here? We're one over. I was dabbling around with practice swings. The jury's out for practice swings for me right now. Because say like a 300 yard, 199, if I don't know. The jury's out for me on practice swings. But I know you've been golfing for a very long time, so when you say things, I listen. Or I wouldn't be hitting with this club right now. But yeah, I'm just a beginner golfer. I wouldn't try to keep up with me. I just I'm trying to get repetitions in, which I realize sometimes doesn't make them quality. Yeah, 87 in real life would be like a really good round too, but unfortunately, from my many rounds on the real golf course, I see that the simulator's between 10 and 15 strokes lower than you would be outside, so I would still be looking at like probably not even breaking 100 on that round. But if you look at the quality of the shots I was hitting, I really didn't have any business breaking 100. Okay, so the pitching wedge went, how far did the pitching wedge go? Okay. Not terribly far. Left us with kind of a putt here. This is over 22 feet. Man, this game is rigged. The weather here says it's going to hit 86 today. I think it was in the mid 80s yesterday, right at the hottest part of the day, because my wife and I were out on the deck enjoying a few adult beverages. But this is the first week since summer started where the weather hasn't been high 90s. Like playing golf yesterday was really quite nice because it was overcast and a little bit rainy. Okay, must have come, well, no, that wasn't over the top. I don't see this much right bend in my shots outside, but I think that that's kind of a common gripe. So I don't have much luck hitting my woods out of the rough. I usually top them. So let's hit an iron here and see if maybe we can get down this speed slot. Sorta. It sorta worked. Nice and fat. Yeah, I'm in Utah. In the land of impossible tee times. Like this Wednesday night, I got to stay up past my bedtime because the tee times at the course we want to play next weekend open at 9 p.m. And I wake up pretty early, so I go to bed pretty early. But I got to stay up till 9 p.m. and I'm on my laptop refreshing the tee times for this. We're trying to play Valley View. And I got to sit and refresh the website over and over and over until the clock turns from 8:59 to 9. And then I got to hurry and pick a tee time and pay for it. That's how it is getting tee times here in northern Utah. And I thought it was just that way everywhere, but I've found more and more and more people saying, no, man, it ain't that hard to get a tee time where I live. But yeah, I know that you asked where I lived, and I turned that into a chance to gripe about getting a tee time, but there you have it. Get up there. I'm sure it's like that in other places too. It can't just be here. Other overpopulated states. I don't think you ever told me that before. I did not know you were blind in your right eye. Hey, I'm pretty sure you would kick my ass all over the golf course with one hand tied behind your back, so I don't consider it an excuse. This is playing like 37 feet here. Under the hole, under the hole, under the hole. Oh, we must have huge gimme circles here. That was pretty rad. So we got to hit at least 106 to get past that bunker. Ooh, money shot. Don't make me putt. Just give me that birdie. Yes. So Keith, you have the same first name as the guy, one of the guys I golf with at work. And I honestly thought it was him for a minute trolling me. Full disclosure there. But he's the best golfer in our friend group by far. That was a little piss missile, as I believe Craig calls it. So we got to go 142 to the pin. Thanks, sir. Well, that wasn't bad. Come on back, come on back. Ooh, it is coming back. Not bad. Especially after that piss missile. I think that's too much. I don't know what it's gonna do. It plays 11 feet. Oh! Where are you going? Oh boy. Landed pin high. Almost came back. Dude, I'm just giving you guff. But I honestly thought it was my buddy from work trolling me. Yeah, dude. I would love if just having this data made it like that, but I am telling you, I hit thousands of golf balls in here every week, and that's not how it works. If I could just throw money If I could just throw money at this game and it would get easier, I would. It's just not how it works. Like, so based on the comment you just made, if you could shave a few strokes in a weekend, and you did that every weekend for a year, you would be a scratch golfer in, what, 4 months? No. You could shave, let's say you shave 10 strokes a month. It's a little outrageous. I know I keep picking on you. Just trust me when I say that's not how it works. In fact, let's do the inverse equation. Think of how much worse I would be at golf if I was only playing once every weekend during the summer. Okay, this is a really narrow fairway. Because for the first time in my life, I have available to me the money and resources to kind of throw at this game. See, that's going over to the right too. That's probably going to be in the bush. But yeah, dude, like full open kimono. Having a simulator doesn't drop strokes off your score every time you use it. We can try to get over into that area where the fairway opens up, but it depends on how this ball ejects out of this lie. Yeah, that's tough. Not quite the desired effect, but we're out. Yeah, I used it's tough. Dude, I could go back and forth with you. I don't want to feel like I'm disrespecting you, but you'll see that most of the guys in this simulator golf community are they're improving at a very good rate, but it's nothing like shaving strokes a month or anything like that. Because you get to a point where you're hitting decent shots, you're getting decent contact. But like in my early videos, I was hitting a lot of like shanks and hosel rockets. A couple of months ago, I was hitting a lot of toenails, which produces the same shot type, right? It zings off to the right. But yeah, dude, I think if I had like a coach, like a golf coach in here with me, like it'd be a lot better. But I can see, like that shot was thin, pretty good. I had pretty good, right? I came in to out, but my club face was closed and it looks like it was a bit thin. I can see that data, but like, what do I do with it? Like, do better next time? Like, hey, dude, do better next time. Okay. It's tough, dude. Like, that was a waste of a stroke. Yeah. Back to the golf, though. I think we've beat this subject up enough. No, it ain't going to break that much. It's going to break more than that, though. 20. So this one's rough. This is 46 feet, and it's going to play like almost 70 feet. And as long as that doesn't come back down, that was a so-so putt. Ah. Yeah, your short game will shoot you in the foot. Ooh, it's double. That sucks. I think we were playing par golf up till then. Man, that stinks. Oh, that sucks. Where are you going? I would say that's bullcrap, but I've been on a couple of golf courses recently where that actually happened. Pretty fat green. It's gonna play, I don't know, 110-ish. This is gonna be a little bit right. Like this round is going really well. And it's because I've been having higher quality of shots, right? They're going approximately where I want them to go, et cetera, et cetera. And then the round before this was like, what, almost 20 over par. And it's that kind of inconsistency. Ideally, it would be, ideally you would shoot within a few strokes of your handicap. You wouldn't have, you'd have a higher floor and a lower ceiling. But where I'm, right, like I'm 2 over par right now, and I might finish the round out in single digits. But the last round was almost 20 over, so the consistency isn't there. It's not that I'm hitting like terrible shots and I'm zinging them off to the right and this and that and the other. It's just it's not consistently, the ball doesn't consistently go where I want it to go. Like we're hitting a lot more fairways, a lot more greens in this round. And I don't think anything changed other than there's not trees lining the fairways. That's really it. Nothing's different here. It's just the quality of shots is better. And those professionals, they're consistently pretty good. Like that was thin. We might be all right. No, it's flying. All right, sit down. There's no reason that should have rolled out that far. Yeah. It's just a game of consistency. Like I am consistently lipping out putts, but you also shouldn't expect to drop putts from 15 feet out, right? Statistically, you're not going to. I think John Sherman was saying something about professionals only hit 50% of their putts outside of 8 feet. But if you watch PGA Tour golf, you think those guys are draining 40-foot putts on every hole. When the reality is you're just watching the highlight reel from the best golfers in the world. Okay, I don't know why that's going over to the left. That kind of pisses me off. We should be okay. I'm guessing it was toey. No, it wasn't even toey. It was a little bit over the top with a closed club face. 160 out of the rough. See, like that shot right there on the real golf course from 165 yards out, you're like 30 feet away from the pin. Amazing shot. Your buddies would be patting you on the back, right? But in the simulator, I'm asking myself, why is my shot not closer? Get in the hole. See, I'm hitting good shots in this round, and it's reflecting on the scorecard. Like I'm not playing Jamie Bristow golf, but like I'm happy with this. The shots are good. It actually looks like I know what I'm doing, but the next round I could be 15 or 20 strokes over par, right? I want to reduce how bad the bad games are and start having it get to where the ball striking is consistently good. It's just what gets you there. Is it practice? Do I need to find a new swing coach? What is it that'll get you there? It's not that toey nonsense, which is funny because I lined that shot up. The ball was very much toward the hosel, and then at contact it was barely on the lines, right? Because that consistency's not there. I don't consistently hit the ball off of a certain spot on my club. What do we got here? That was all right. Actually, the further that ball goes, the less all right it is. Because we still got a bit of a crummy, leaky putt here. Uphill leaky. It's going to play 16 feet. See, normally if you leave yourself with a 2-putt, like that's pretty good. That's good golf. Because you're not going to be on the green in 2 and then 1 putt every time. That's not how it works, right? So we've got plenty of room to screw up on the right, but I see trees and I don't want to be behind one. So it's like that shot, it felt toey. I haven't looked at the replay yet. So if I'm on the golf course, I say I hit a toey shot. Let's see what it actually was. Nope. It was almost dead center off the sweet spot, over the top with a closed club face. Those guys that are really good at golf, they can tell, like my club face was over the top, or my swing was over the top with a so many degree closed club face. Like that's how crazy good they are at golf. So we got a tricky shot here. Honestly, if you were in this in real life and you were unintelligent enough to try to hit over this OB to a raised green, no way, Jose, I ain't doing it. I'm gonna try to maybe get my ball up over here somewhere on this fairway. Yeah, you're laying up on a par 4, I get that. But I already avoided the OB narrowly, and then to like have the wherewithal to try and hit over the OB. Get up there. Don't put me back in that crap. So we're in deep rough again. Just really poor ball striking here. The last few shots have been off the toe. I'd rather be hitting off the toe than hitting hosel rockets, though. Those will ruin a round pretty quick because they start to get in your head. Toey shots just feel crappy. Hosel-y shots just make you feel like you shouldn't be on the golf course. You're like, what am I doing here? And then you got your toenail, which is the opposite of a hosel rocket, but the ball does the same thing. It might be called something different in your neck of the woods. We have left so many strokes on the putting green in this round. Like if we were playing a scramble, we'd be fine because somebody's probably going to hit it into the cup, but when it's just you, yourself, and Irene. All right, this is going to play about 160. We probably want to hit about 150. Looks like the pin is dead center on the green. Not dead center. That's not such a thing. Okay. If you look at the replay, you'll see that that was extremely toey with a lot of gear effect. Like it spun the club around in my hand. And if I can crowd the ball. Keith, this kind of goes back to what you were saying. I've seen the last half a dozen shots that were toey. And if you were to like ask Google AI, what do I do to quit hitting off the toe of my club? It would probably say something to the effect of, move closer to the ball, right? Like, let's try to do the opposite. Let's try to induce a hosel rocket. Let's crowd the ball so bad that I hit a hosel rocket. So I'm taking the data and I'm digesting it into my stupid gorilla head, and I'll get so close to the ball that my club's touching my crotch. Like I'm like up in this ball's shit, right? Like, I'm all over this ball. But then, for some reason, my body will adjust or I'll lean back so that I still hit another toey shot. and I'm not really sure where I'm going with this story, but like classically for the last 6 months or so, I've been hitting off the toe in here and on the real golf course. So what I do is I crowd up on the ball, and then I end up doing something stupid like I can't get my arms to clear my gut because I'm so close to the ball, and then something else will happen. But I can see what's going on, and I can come to a reasonable conclusion on what I need to do to fix it. But in this particular circumstance, I don't know what to do other than crowd closer to the ball. See, I think that even felt toey. It's just, it's tough. Get in the hole. So what I'll do, we'll see what this next hole is. Okay, I'm not going to tee off with an iron on this hole, but next time I hit an iron, I'm really going to crowd into the ball. Like uncomfortably close to the ball. I'm going to try to induce a hosily shot. Ooh, I think this has internal OB and OB to the left. Okay, let's hit somewhere where we can't go into the internal OB. So like a 5-iron. So I am going to tee off with a 5-iron, and I'm going to crowd up into the ball. Like me and this ball are going to become one being. Right? Like look, it's touching, my 5-iron shaft is touching my shaft. I am so close to this ball. Let's see what happens. Middle of the club. So I crowded that ball quite a lot, and I was only able to get the ball to move like an inch inward. Tell you what, let's do it again. I can't reasonably expect it to go that far out of this lie. I got my 5-iron out of the rough. I'm going to crowd up on this ball real close. Like me and this ball are best buddies right now. Okay, it's going right, but it was even still a little toward the toe. Yeah. So we can even hit 144. We're obviously going to hit another iron. But let's see here, because I'm hitting chronically off the toe. Maybe I can make my club longer. So I'm going to choke way back to where the butt of my hand is up toward the top of the grip. Like I'm going to make my club as long as I can, which is going to induce maybe another set of issues. But my club is as long as it can be with the butt of my hand still on the grip here. I'm crowding. That still felt toey. Look. So at that point in time, that was almost OB. At this point in time, I got to watch some videos or something, or I got to call up my swing coach and say, hey dude, like I'm chronically hitting off the toe. What do I do? Deep rough. You know you're going to lose about 25% power out of here, so probably want to hit this 45 yards of feel. That felt toey too. Yep. Anyway, there's no point to this story other than I recognize I'm hitting off the toe and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to do. I made the club longer. I got closer to the ball. You would think I'd be hitting like hosel rockets right now, one after another, but that's not what's happening. 56 playing 60 something. Did I hit it? Ooh, that thing's bending. That was kind of a poor read, I suppose. HLA was 1.6 to the right and it still leaked to the left that bad. And then whatever that was, Sally needs to pick up her purse. There's 2 more strokes. We might be able to get out of here in single digits. 1, 2, 10. I mean, I'm not getting very far off the tee, and I understand that that does not help anything. But if you really gave this ball a ride, you only need to hit about 285 to get it. Like to clear these bunkers, you only need to hit about 230. My miss is to the right, and there aren't any trees blocking my path. So what I'm going to do is hit over this area, and we'll see if that ends up being a good idea, bad idea, or somewhere in between. And in a scramble, this would be a fun hole. Okay, that actually might kind of sort of almost worked there. Almost drove the green. But you'll see that ball was 6 yards offline to the left. I did come over the top. Good ball compression. It was off the top of the club though. Let's see if I can hit this ball off the toe. Okay, so we almost drove the green, but we're still going to get out of here with probably a par. It's a pretty flat putt though. That still might miss. Got her. Okay, that one paid off. Gave us a little bit of padding. Maybe we can finish single digits over. 400-yard par 4. Ooh, buddy. That's where I didn't want to be, but that thing sailed. Pretty nasty crap here. I don't think I'd feel comfortable hitting anything under about a 7. Another toey shot, it felt like. Yeah. It's just something I've come to grips with at this point. 62. That was 62. Yeah, that was a waste of a stroke. Got some really loud birds right now. This looks like, based on the feed and OBS, they're louder than hell for you guys too. Let's turn that down. That's about enough of those birds. Did you guys know the Utah state bird is the seagull? Isn't that cool? Okay, that bogey was not necessary, but it happened anyway. Beautiful finishing hole here. This, pretty beautiful. That's all I'll say. So what do we got? It looks like we're hitting uphill. We're ending with a par 5. And then I'll decide whether to keep this train going or not. I'm trying to burn as many rounds as I can. But I realize at some point I have to do some adulting today as well. Oh no, get up there. For a right-handed golfer, this would be almost an impossible shot. Well, I mean, not impossible, let's say improbable, because everybody's seen Tiger Woods hit weird shots when he was like the balls at chest level. Everybody's seen him do it. So not impossible, just improbable. I thought I aimed far enough to the right to prevent what just happened from happening, but golf works in mysterious ways. About 92 out of the rough. Come back, come back. Yeah, I don't really generate any backspin, but someday I hope to. This is 32, playing probably 20. Yes, I love missing putts by a quarter of an inch. Makes me feel good inside. So this round was only 7 strokes fewer over par than the last one was. Scorecard doesn't look too much different. We just had a few birdies to help counter some of the bogeys. But shooting an 80 on a par 72 course feels drastically different than shooting an 87. The ball striking was better, the fairways weren't lined with trees, etc., so forth and so on. What's next in the queue? It is 9:15 my local time. Let's look at the stats. Nothing to write home about in the stats screen. There's a few stats I don't understand how GS Pro calculates them. Like, I'm pretty sure I putted 83 feet, more than 83 feet. 31 putts is slightly below 2 putts per green. Green in regulation and fairway in regulation are pretty relatively well-known golf data points. But These double bogeys and better are really what get you because you're eating 2 strokes on every single one of them. Let's head back out to the splash screen. How long's this live stream been running? 3 hours. Oh, nobody's gonna watch this. Let's see what's left here. Okay, so Hazel's league dropped off. I'm glad to see that. Man, I got a lot of golf to play if I'm ever gonna catch up. Bogey's backyard. I'm gonna play one more round and then go do some adulting. And none of the tour stuff. And then Eagle Knoll is gonna be, Flying Fat Kid and I might be playing that one later. And he'll probably live stream it. What's Joe's round look like? 6,800 yard tees. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. 5-foot gimme auto putts, 6,800 yard tees, soft greens, 11 stimp, soft fairways, that kind of sucks, calm wind, and then you're slightly above sea level. Let's load this one up. I may have already played it, I can't remember. Guys, I appreciate it. It was an okay round. So Keith, do you have a commercial simulator anywhere near you out there? Because I think 24-hour-a-day access to the commercial simulator that was near me before I built this one was like $220 a month. But you could literally go in there at 6 a.m., you could go in there at 8 p.m., you could go in there during your lunch hour at noon. All you had to do was go on an app and schedule it. And then once your phone got close enough to the door, it would unlock the door. I think if it was within 15 minutes of your simulator slot. Oh, it only opens in the winter? I guess I get it. All of the simulators around here are open 24 hours a day, but I think our population per capita is a big driver of that. Because not only do we have a lot of people here, there's a military base, so there's obviously going to be a lot of civilians and military that work on Hill Air Force Base, but there's also going to be a lot of retirees and stuff. Okay, I don't think we can afford to not hit driver here, because it's almost 7,000 yards. I'm just gonna have to do what I can to keep the ball as close to the fairway as possible. We gotta be hitting well off, not well, but hitting off the tee, period. Did that count as a shot? Dude, my waggle gets me in so much trouble in this simulator. Okay, it didn't count, but it's in the replay. You guys can view that debacle there. That should work, depending on where I was aimed. Hit that speed slot. And we do have soft fairways, so that ain't bad. 250. Nothing to write home about, but we're closer to the pin. That's drifting over to the right, but we should be maybe not quite pin high. And then we get to chip over a bunker out of the rough, which is, it's a well-known fact. That's one of my favorite things in the world to do. So we've already set ourselves up for bogey golf. Unfortunately, that's how it works. I gotta hit 30 yards out of the rough, 25% penalty at least. Or not. What are we doing here? I must have miscalculated something. So we must have been in normal rough. I'm an idiot. That only would have been 10%. Okay. Mental mistake. Let's get that out of the way on the first hole and be done with it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 7 feet. All right, out of the gate with a +1. Yeah, we gotta be hitting driver effectively this round. Or crisp 3-wood shots will also work, because sometimes a 3-wood goes further than the damn driver does. That's actually drawn a little bit. I think if we can keep hitting decent tee shots, we might have a chance, but Joe Legowski's events are always on, they're just difficult. This hole's daring you to go for the green. I don't negotiate with terrorists. Let's just get the ball down the fairway here. That shot felt pure. Probably off close to the center of the club. Yep. That shot felt really pure. Unfortunately, it rolled into the rough. I was yapping and didn't see that, but that was 193 carry out of a 5-iron. We got to hit out a rough over water. We got a lot of green to play with. That's a plus. Slightly downhill lie. So we know we need to hit at least 85 yards to get to the pin. And then the ball's going to want to roll, probably it looks like from right to left. So that raw carry was only 68 yards. We took a 5-yard penalty out of the rough, and we might be able to get out of here with a par if I don't botch this putt. It's going to play about 40 feet. Looks like I pulled it. Good putt though. We get out of there with a par. So Keith, are you able to get out on the real golf course pretty often? It sounds like you guys don't have the same amount of trouble getting a tee time that I do here in Utah. This is quite a long shot. Let's get it on the green if we can. 213. Uh, oh, no. Is that water? Okay. So we're not taking a penalty. We're right outside the red stakes. But the ball went, it carried 197. That probably would have been a really nice shot had it been straight. 27, and I got to get it over the water. Deep rough is going to take 25%. Tough par 3. 200 plus yard par 3s are just tough. There's really no two ways about that. I'm not seeing, the greens aren't too evil yet. Yeah, works. I guess work is something we do to enable us to enjoy our hobbies, right? It is a necessary evil. I think I'd be pretty bored if I retired. There's some guys I know who I think would handle it just fine. If every shot could be like that one, I could maybe go under par on a round or two. Okay, so you're in a league. I'm in a league here. It's the Wasatch Aerospace Golf Wasatch Aerospace Golf League. They call it the Waggle. Very funny. Ha ha ha. And we joined it this year because we thought that we could meet some new people, and by we, I mean me and one of my buddies at work. And it really hasn't turned out like that. See that? And then that, you can't follow up a good tee shot with a good approach. It's illegal. It's actually illegal. It's illegal. Oh, buddy, this is a lot of golf. I'm too old for this. Oh boy, we still got a putt, but it's a par 5. We might be able to sneak out of here with a parski. You're not going to make too many 20-foot putts. I think we've established that. There's more proof for you. There's another data point. Yeah, there's a lot of our guys that are in that league here too, but they've all got, and I don't know if your league is like this, it's very cliquey. They usually play with the same people every weekend or every week, and it's very cliquey. Like they really don't branch out too much from their normal playing partners. For the minis, for the tournaments and the best ball and all of that crap, you kind of get paired with who you get paired with. See, that shot felt really good. It was just offline to the right. What do we got here? Slightly into out. The shot felt amazing. It really did. 175 carry. I don't really have any complaints about that shot. Now this next one is going to be a doozy. You can see we've got to get up or we're dead. Yeah, we got to get up. I'll do the best I can here. This is a tough shot. This pin is cut into a very not awesome place on the green. Let's see what we can do. Uphill breaking right. It says it's not uphill, but it looks like it's uphill. That's a good putt. That was a pretty solid hole, and it still walked out of there with a bogey. Sometimes you just play for bogey. So that was the number 4 index hole on the course. 265. Gotta be hitting driver. I mean, if this course was lined with trees, in addition to being 6,800 yards, that would be unfortunate. That is, I don't typically hit a slice that dramatic. That was offline 45 yards to the right. I must have put a grip a side spin on that ball because it was slightly over the top. The shot looked pretty good. Sometimes you just don't know why a shot happens. Some of you guys are better at reading that data than I am, certainly. Sometimes you just don't know why. Think we can get up over there, maybe. See how that came out of the bunker? I aimed right to try and counter that, and it wasn't enough. So now we're in another kind of crappy predicament. Deep rough, 92. We're going to need to hit about 125. They don't rotate anything to force players to expand. And they do have an app. You can't even schedule a tee time by calling the clubhouse anymore. You have to use an app, but I think it's called like 4Up or something. But you got to really be playing like you got to play very tactically to get a tee time. Like I've got a spreadsheet that shows when tee times open up at certain courses, because certain courses like the one we're trying to play this coming weekend, the tee times don't open up for it until 9 p.m. 3 days before the tee time you're looking to get. What did I just do? Okay, it saw that. That should zoom out. Yeah, I don't know. This camera does what it wants. But like I said earlier, I got to be spamming the refresh button in my browser and then hurry and get a tee time right at 9 p.m. And then there's certain courses where they have tee times open 2 weeks in advance, and those are the ones sometimes that are even harder to get because people just go in and snag up tee times. That was hot. Some courses don't make you prepay and some do. So what you can do on the ones that don't make you prepay is you can go in, reserve a bunch of tee times, and then just cancel them later, which is kind of shady. If I'm diligent and I know what course Mike and I want to play this weekend, so I'm going to stay up until 9 and refresh my browser to get the tee time I want. See, even that's bending over to the right. That's crazy. 200 yards. Deep rough? Yucksville, dude. We got to hit something a little loftier. What did For Golf's Sake say? Well, he just finished Bogey's League +3, but it was 4,800 yards. Should have been better. Body is getting tired. It's 1 a.m. now. Yeah, you better get to bed, sir. Well, I don't know when you typically sleep. Some people don't sleep at night. Oh, that was a poorly struck ball. Consistency. Too many people. There's too many people in Utah. Okay, so that was my pitching wedge out of a normal lie, and it went 100 yards. Smash factor wasn't any good. Yeah, 65 mile an hour club speed ain't gonna get you anywhere. Usually it's in the mid 80s. Ball's gonna come out of the lie left and then it's gonna roll left hard. Just take your medicine here. Yeah, I don't feel like that came out of the lie to the left. Simulator golf, you'd think it was easier than it really is, but sometimes it's just not. 14 feet. Bogey. I feel like I'm playing better than bogey golf, but all it takes is one mistake per hole and you're going to play bogey golf. If you want to fly out, if you want to fly into Salt Lake City, I can get tee times. It's just you would need to be okay with somebody being up your ass and you being up somebody's ass. And there aren't a lot of resorts here. There are a few, but I would say they're mostly in southern Utah. It's not that we couldn't do it. It's just if you were going to come out, right, we would communicate over Discord or text or something. If you were going to come out and we knew what days you were coming out, I would do the spam the browser refresh until I got the tee time thing. I would show you a good time. $220-yard drive, if you can believe that. What was the swing speed on that? 95 miles an hour. That's why I switched to a regular flex shaft. So we're zoomed in again on this camera. What a nightmare. Good Lord. What do we got? 165-ish. No, I don't think I personally have a Discord. I think we're all in different Discords. Oh, that was such trash. Get up there. Not on a soft. Oh, that died. Oh, man. I hate that crap. I hate it. Okay, what do we got here? 12 feet playing 15, 16 feet. Get in the hole. Bogeys, dude. You got to land closer to the pin so that you can have a chance at sinking a putt, but you don't really statistically have a high chance of sinking a 15-foot putt. Statistically. I'm sorry. I don't want to burst your bubble. I don't think I have a Discord, dude. Usually if I'm talking to somebody, it's in like Hazel Rocket's Discord or something. And when Flying Fat Kid and I play, we're in a private Discord. I mean, I can make one if you want, but I hardly ever check it. I think if you want to join, I think Hazel Rocket Golf's Discord has got quite a bunch of people in it, and the SGT. I'll look right now. I'm sure there are people just waiting with bated breath for my next shot. Downloading 10 million files because Discord is dumb. Bloopity bloopity Scooby Doo. Oh, it's installing 17 things. Do we get to see Discord? I don't have enough screens here. Yeah, this Hazel Rocket Golf is pretty active. For Golf's Sake has a Discord. I don't have my own. And then there's the simulator, SGT Simulator Golf Tour Discord, which I don't know how much use you'd get out of that if you don't have a simulator. Hazel's stuff's fairly active, but I am already tending enough to enough crap to make a Discord. What was I doing? Putting. We're putting. Good grief. Okay, 23 playing 25. No putts. No cups were harmed in the making of this video. You can see the HLA was almost 1 degree off to the right. It's typically to the right. That is a stat that I am well aware of. We've got to stop with the bogeys. But honestly, when I play a course this long, because your second shot's typically like a medium to long iron in, it's usually bogey golf. And then that looked like it was going to go straight and then started to trail off to the right. Guys, I promise I don't hit this many slices on the real golf course. So yeah, you got on a par 4, we're hitting out of the rough to almost 220 in. And I am not brave enough to hit a wood out of the rough. We can reasonably expect to land right there-ish if we can get the ball airborne. Oh, that was actually a nice shot. Couldn't get it out of the long stuff though. Putts. Flying Fat Kid says he can be ready in 45 minutes. And I said yes. So you guys should see us online here in probably an hour. If I can even move by then. This looks like a tiered-ish green. You really couldn't be much further from the pin here. That was a weird shot. That was a very weird shot. I would like a mulligan on that, please. It was thin, but it did something really weird. Putter. Let's just get near the pin and get out of here with our, I'm assuming our bogey. Oh yeah, at least a bogey. 21 feet playing 19 feet. HLA was almost right on that time, just a bad read, I guess. We really need to get some more pars here though, because we're on kind of a bogey pace, which sucks. 180 yard par 3. Oh, I think that would have been a really nice shot. It just left. Damn it. Yeah, once I get about above 150 yards out, the accuracy is quite different than it would be for, say, a 100-yard shot. Okay, I thought greenside bunkers penalized you further than that. I guess it almost penalized us 50%. Yeah, we're looking at another bogey here. I think I can safely assume that at almost 7,000 yards, any par 3 is bogey's going to be a good, probably acceptable score. Oh, get out of Dodge. Got it. We got to get some pars. It's just the course is pretty long. Don't go in there. Okay, that's fine, I guess. See, I want to hit a wood out of this lie, but I wouldn't hit a wood out of this lie in real life, so I'm not going to do it. It's an unfortunate character flaw of mine. Dude, got to quit landing in the rough. 47 yards. Gonna probably play closer to 50-something yards. Come on. Playing some tired golf right now. It probably ain't gonna break that far. Probably isn't gonna break that far. Dude, come on. It's crazy how many putts I'm leaving on the table. I gotta break this bogey streak. Okay, 185. This is forcing you to either go for the green, basically. There's got a little bit of fairway here. You'd have to carry, I don't know, 255. I don't really carry 255. And that's dangerous because you got that OB right there. It's just a little too risky for me. That's pretty much where that needed to be. 132, down 5, 120 something. Got a tailwind. That's going to be short, I think, by the feel of it. Oh, man. We haven't taken a penalty stroke in a while. That may be the first penalty stroke we've taken today. What's my next option? Trash. Trash. That's really lame. That sucks. You're guaranteed if you take a penalty stroke, you're almost guaranteed a double. So the round is starting to spiral a little bit out of control. Yeah, we've been on a big bogey streak. This whole round has been a bogey streak. How are we only 8 over? Just cannot put a ball in a cup. Ooh, that's ugly. Would that put us 10 over? Folks, we've reached double digits. 165 with a headwind. Let's just try to get somewhere on the green. Come on, fade over. Come on back. Do we have a downhill chip? A little downhill chip. Oh, it's not little, it's a big downhill chip. Let's see if we can end this bogey streak here. 7-10 playing 5-10. All right, bogey streak is over. Let's see if we can not hit any more bogeys. We're probably not going to have a lot of birdie looks just because of the length of the course. But it's going surprisingly well for a Joe Legowski event. Yeah, we're definitely not getting anything. That's not even going to bounce on the fairway. That was an unfortunate drive, and that's going to make this hole a whole lot longer. I don't hit woods out of the rough, so I got to try to cream this with an iron. That felt toey, and it looks like we're going to be playing out of the fairway. That's pretty dope. 170 left to go. We'll just keep using this this club. Toey again. That rotated in my hand. Hopefully this is in play. Oh, that's an ugly shot. It's going to get high and it's going to do it quick. Very toey shot. 24 yards, deep rough. That's probably a better outcome than we deserved there. Come on, dude. So we're probably looking at maybe a triple or a quad here. Maybe a double. Yeah, so we're creeping. We are firmly in the 80s now, with 3 holes to go. If you add, let's say, 12 strokes to that, we're at 24 over. So we're tickling on a real golf course. We're tickling a triple-digit score here. It's going to be on a fairway. That was just a wretched shot. Oh, just terrible. I can hit a wood here because we are on fairway. Not entirely sure where we are. What just happened? Guys, without rewinding the video, I don't know what just happened. I have an idea. Okay, rookie ass mistake here. I was aimed at this 92 marker and not the green. Dude, if I could get a mulligan. Come on. Such a rookie mistake, dude. Sadly, you see us sim golfers do that more often than we probably want to admit. So we're firmly going to be in triple digits here. Par 4, shot 4. Let's see if we can get it 28. Joe Legowski's events are always difficult. I know I already said that, but when you're doing dumb things like hitting the ball the wrong direction, like we're going to take another double bogey here. It doesn't help when you're hitting the ball the wrong direction. Sadly, I think 6,000 yard tees are kind of where I am at, because anything above that, significantly above that, I'm going to be playing bogey golf. Every hole is going to be a bogey. There's another one. I hope Flying Fat Kid's driver's working today, because mine is probably off the table. Let's make sure we're aiming toward the hole. Stupid ass. We want to aim this way. I don't know why on earth GS Pro would aim you in that direction. What happened there? Ah, another toey shot. Might as well been aimed in the other direction. There comes a point, guys, when you should stop hitting golf balls, but I'm too stubborn to do that. 10:03. That was a pretty snazzy little shot. What do we got in the chat? Yeah. 6,000 yards until, I would say until my mid to long irons are a little more accurate, or these woods get a little more accurate, is kind of out of the question. Pushed it. I think we're going to be too far out for a gimme. Oh yeah, that was trash. That was an unnecessary bogey, but a bogey nonetheless. That's what the scorecard will reflect. Really bad drive, but these are pretty wide open. It's not too penalizing to hit a bad drive. Where the hell is that going? It almost landed on the fairway. 129 to the pin. When you say you're on your third round of Flying Fat Kids League, what I don't understand what you mean. Do you mean like you've played it 3 times? Oh, you're probably playing your third round of the day is what you mean. That's a lot of golf, buddy. Man, I can't hit this pitching wedge. 86 yards? That's pretty embarrassing to hit your pitching wedge 86 yards. What can you do but laugh? Golf's hard. Laugh. Oh my God. This round is a lost cause at this point. I'm hitting the ball in the wrong direction. I'm missing putts by 1/4 of an inch. Like it's not happening. What is this? Woo, 70 feet playing 24. It's playing well over 100 feet. I think that had some pretty bad negative HLA. No, it was only 7.7. That's K-Razzie. That's too much. Just not getting her there. That's 3 putt. All right. There you go, folks. I would say we might have broke 100 on this course in real life. 88 in the sim is going to be probably a 102 or 103 in real life. Maybe best case scenario, a 98, 99. Ball striking was good, but the par 3s are too long. I don't really have those shots in my bag. It wasn't a bad round. It's just Joe's stuff is always hard. Let's check out the stats. There's probably not a whole lot to see in here. 3 greens, 7 fairways, 32 putts. That's not that great. And then 4 double bogeys. That's 8 strokes on its own. That's pretty, I don't mind bogeys, but double bogeys, that's 8 strokes all by itself. All right, let's head back out to the GS Pro splash screen. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in on this 4-hour-long live stream. Yeah, I got to get ready to play around with Flying Fat Kid here in not very long. Tune in for that. I'm sure he'll be streaming it. I don't know if my computer's fast enough to have that many windows open at one time, but yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the comments. Yeah, signing out. Turbo Talon signing out. Have a good one, guys.